All right, last topic. Now this one is taking a slight turn, a little juicier, but turned scandalous. Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Now, in case you're not on social media or if you're into pop culture news in regards to this, it went down on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter yesterday. So the gist, Rob Kardashian was dating and eventually fathered a child with Blac Chyna, who was the former wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure, of Tyga, which is Kylie Jenner's now boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever. We don't even care about that.
Yeah. Too much drama.
Too much drama with that. The point of the story is there was a falling out, and Rob Kardashian, in a series of Instagram posts and tweets, showed nude photos of Blac Chyna, showed different video clips of her in different circumstances, and now the conversation has switched from a man scorned to potentially releasing revenge porn. So now this opens up a different type of conversation. So a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this changes the conversation. Rob might be in quite a bit of trouble. And some people are saying on the flip side, can this be revenge porn, considering that Blac Chyna was formerly a stripper and has shown her body on her own on different occasions?
Right.
And just to go into the history of revenge porn in California specifically, there are 38 states that have adopted some sort of revenge porn policy and made it illegal and punishable. And in California, the crime is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by 6 months in prison and a $1,000 fine. And in Kardashian's case, it would likely be the DA in Los Angeles County who would be the person who would have to prosecute in this case should it get to that point. Blac Chyna's lawyer has said, yeah, we're going to go through every avenue here and see if the legal issue is what we're going to make of this. My whole thing is, come on, Rob Kardashian, you just made it so much worse for yourself.
Yeah.
She cheated on you. That's the end of the story, but now his end of the story is going to be very different.
I mean, imagine, let's just say that what we're hearing is true, and you know, he's in a very emotional spot and starts to lash out from that not thinking clearly space, and what do I have that can hurt this person back? And so he used something that may end up being a crime, but you know, it's amazing how quickly that this private battle turns public, and very devastating, because remember, with the internet, those photos are out there forever. And it is true, you know, you can look at her past and argue, look, she's fine with this by her past actions, but you know what, every day is a new day, and at some point you decide that's in the past and this is how I choose to project my life into the future, and you can't be judged by your past actions forever. There has to be a point when you're accountable to your moment in time and your decisions and who you are in that moment. And so it's probably going to go criminal, I'm guessing, with this one, but it's just, this is a bad situation, and we're all witnesses to it because of social media and people acting out of passion. It's probably going to go criminal.
And my fear in this is, so when it was happening, pretty much if you were on social media yesterday, you kind of got wind of it. So there were a lot of oohs and ahs and mans in the comment section on all of his posts. The same with Blac Chyna's post, the same with retweeting and commenting on Twitter. So again, my fear is that now other men will feel justified, or other women will feel justified in retaliating against their ex or against their partner in some way, using the same tactics because it got the type of response that it got.
Right.
So in a way, I'm kind of wondering if an example has to be made out of Rob for the sake of saying, you know what, yeah, it was juicy when it happened, and maybe it isn't that big of a deal, but to kind of put the kibosh on it and to not have this happen going forward with some random Joe and Schmo and their girlfriend or whatnot, we need to do something about it so we won't set a trend. Because just looking at it, I'm sure someone will get the impression of, yeah, he really got her, or yeah, I could do that too. I got nude pictures of my girlfriend and I could do the same thing.
Well, when you're reading off the possible penalties, $1,000, I mean, it doesn't sound like that's a huge deterrent. And that, you know, the punishment isn't always a deterrent. Some people just are in the moment. They're not thinking, okay, let me Google what I could be in for if I do this. It's usually a moment of passion when people do these kinds of things. But the reality is that kind of penalty, that kind of, if he has to pay the price for this, if it is a crime, we don't know. That it doesn't sound that bad to me. It sounds like something that would not impact him that much. I mean, he's a big famous celebrity.
Right. And in the case, at least with this particular celebrity couple, lack thereof now. Blac Chyna willingly took a lot of these photos when they were together. So now the argument is, well, if it was a photo that she took out of her own will, can it be considered revenge porn? What do you guys think?
It's context. It's,
right.
I mean, if they're a married couple with child, I don't know, did they get married? I feel
they're
like
not married. They were engaged.
They were engaged.
They have the 8-month-old daughter, Dream Kardashian.
Okay.
Well, he says, loved Chyna as my wife and accepted all the wrongs she did. So
Okay.
did they never get married?
They never got married. It
Okay,
was
he calls her his wife.
He calls, yeah, and he supposedly paid for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, according to TMZ, again, they were saying that it's possible that this will not be considered a textbook case of revenge porn. Chyna liked the pics on Instagram, so it's hard to argue that she suffered emotional distress because there was a back and forth between the two. In some posts, she was on Snapchat laughing about it and kind of trolling him in retaliation, saying, yeah, you brought me all of this jewelry, but ha ha ha, I'm wearing the jewelry, and you're pretty much, you know, just whining and posting these posts about it. So according to TMZ, their take on it is it probably won't go that far because she interacted, engaged in it as if she weren't under distress.
Well, I will say this, lesson learned, don't take the nude photos. Because at some point, things happen, and again, they live forever on the internet. And so just now, with the way the technology is and how quickly things can be shared, parents, if you're listening right now, remind your kids this kind of stuff can really come back to haunt them, even if it's them becoming the victim in this. This can be detrimental to somebody at any age if there is a nude photograph of you going around the internet. And so a reminder, it wouldn't get to something like revenge porn and legal matters and 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine if those things didn't exist.
But you know what? It's just unfortunate that it has to come to that. Because you remember a couple of years ago with the iCloud hack, when a bunch of celebrities, their new photos got leaked. A lot of times, a couple of them were sharing those photos with their husbands. Megan Good was sharing it with her husband, who's a pastor. That's between them. They're a married couple, and it got leaked to the public. So it's just unfortunate that even in the case of you doing something in an intimate setting with your partner, that the potential of this happening could happen, and it could lead to something like that.
Right. Long distance relationship, married for 5 years. Someone's going to be at work in China for a month. It just came up. You can't miss that opportunity. It's conceivable.
It happens.
Photos are shared.
You got to keep
it
hot and spicy. Keep it popping.
Exactly.
Keep the romance alive.
And then to then be called out on that later on because it got leaked out because of a security thing, I don't know. That's too far for me. I mean, I think step 1 and 2 is understandable. Step 3 is out of your control. So why do you have to suffer step 4 and the shaming? I don't know.
Well, let us know what you think. I did see Elle say, I've always been a firm believer in don't take in nude photos. You don't have to worry about it. I hear you. Sharon Harrison says exactly. So I think that was to your comment. So thank you all for
We'll just assume
in.
so. It makes me feel
Yeah,
better.
it makes me feel, Sharon, let's just say it was for Rob here. I am seeing a ton of you continue to comment on the airline story. We ran out of time, but I'll go back in. I know Cornelia will go back in, and we'll kind of look through your comments and chime in back.
Yeah. And guys, make sure you tune in every day, 5 to 7 morning blend. You'll see all of us, plus Megan. You'll see Walt. You'll see Mark S. Allen. But here right now, Extra Shot 8:15 tomorrow, every Monday through Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.